Your your personal style speaks so loudly, and you really want to make sure that it's not talking smack about you. So in style class today, what we're going to do is really uncover what it is that you're meaning to say with what you're wearing and what's actually being communicated.
Ooh.
And well, for the good ick, I was writing this up because someone wrote to me and they asked how they could be taken more seriously. You and I talked about it.
Yes, we did talk about it
Last Friday a bit, and I was writing up a longer story in the good ick about how your personal style is saying things. And as I'm writing it, I'm thinking, but should it be saying all this? Do we need to work? And the thing is, you can debate, should it, could it, would it?
Has it?
Yeah. But the fact is, yes, it does.
Yep.
The reality is, it does. And so we don't want to make anyone paranoid that their style is talking smack about them. However, this is a style class, and we're going to get that communication in check.
Let's go.
Okay. So,
Who are you?
who am I?
Amy Smilovic. And what are you saying to me? I feel like I'm talking to your. What are you saying?
Girl, we are not going to.
Inappropriate as usual.
Okay. So today, obviously, a day in the office we've had some great weather in New York. It is not unbearably hot. So it's letting me dip into the fall clothing a little bit. And I'm wearing the, oh God, where is Emily?
Yeah.
This
Emily,
is
where are
the
you?
technical sheer skirt. And what is great about this skirt when we pull up the name of it.
It's power mesh. I definitely know that.
It is
Wow,
power
that's
mesh.
powerful.
And it'll remind you of us watching Butterfield 8 last night.
It is literally
Elizabeth
power
Taylor.
mesh skirt. So.
Yes.
I love your movie list.
Butterfield 8, Elizabeth Taylor,
Mhm.
chic call girl, and she's wearing lingerie throughout it. And this power mesh is kind of very illustrative of the 1950s. Like it'll give you that image, so to give you an idea of the feeling of this. So we've done sheer before, but this is a lot gutsier than that. And so I'm wearing it here in the springtime or in the summer. I've taken, you saw me
I saw her.
with painting.
I saw her with pantyhose, and I did not know where she was going. I was like, is this going on her head? She's making a headband, and voila. Yeah.
Typical. So I chopped it off because I wanted something to be biker length underneath and appropriate for running around the office, right? But it's sheer, so I'm wrapping it up with a couple sweaters as well.
Yeah.
So all I am trying to communicate here is depth of style. And we talked about depth of style as being important because it communicates depth of thought.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's what we talked about on Friday.
Yeah, because if you are dressed in a way that is overly frivolous, you cannot be shocked if people assume that you maybe are overly frivolous in your thought, right?
Right. In your actions and in your life.
And so what I talked about in the good ick, which I think is really critical, is when your style matches what you're trying to show, when people have a perception of you, you're always better to be in a position of proving them right rather than trying to prove them wrong.
True. That's
Takes
very
a while.
true. It does
Yeah.
take a while. With
And so
maturity.
you're just constantly thinking, okay, don't look at the fact that I'm all this. Take me seriously.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my 20-year-old self is not my 40-year-old self.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But someday, anyways.
So, but depth for you here, you have on shades up, right?
Shades
you have
up.
on gray and compact knit, you have on gray and featherweight, and they are kind of, they're not ishy, but I made up a word, it's ishy.
Ishy.
It's kind of bluish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they've got some nice blue undertones. So this is that the double face cashmere sweatshirt. This thing is like the real deal. It's got, I'm sorry, you mind holding that?
Yes. They're equally weighty.
They're very weighty. This has got that long sleeve. And what's funny about this too is it is weighty, and I'm not gonna run outside in 100 degrees in this.
No.
It's weighty, but it feels like a very rich sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think because it's not hairy.
Yes, it's not hairy.
It's weight without the hair, so that's why you can wear it in a little bit warmer weather without like losing, it's not gonna like stick to you.
Right.
Like a hair.
Our names are really good, guys. It really tells a story. Compact,
Duh.
Cashmere, double face.
And then I'm wearing, this is from Fundamentals, but it is that
No, it's
easy
not.
featherweight ribbed, and it is not from
It is not
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
But it should
Sarah.
be so. But I feel like the fact that you thought it was, well, mentioned that
Yeah.
it was, it's so good that maybe one day it'll get elevated. But we've had one like that in fundamentals before.
Yeah.
So the rib knit.
It's a featherweight ribbed crew neck pullover, not fundamentals. I
Who
mean,
the fuck made that decision?
you did.
I know. Fired.
Or
And
hired.
it's great.
Good job,
It's
Sarah.
very lightweight, very easy.
Okay.
Here.
Okay,
All right. So
tell me about what you're wearing and what are you saying?
what did you say to me? Okay, I need to answer your question without a
Yeah.
question. What am I wearing? I am wearing the lamb's wool sweater
Yeah.
with the cutouts, and
Yeah.
I'm also wearing, again, I feel like this, does this cost me $0? Maybe, I don't know. The sheared panel skirt.
You owe me some money by now.
I know I'm negative, right?
You're so
Shades
crazy.
of white,
Yes.
and
So
you're wearing
cheap.
shades of gray. So I'm telling you that I'm thoughtful.
50.
I'm actually showing you that I'm feminine without being boho, which I like.
Yes.
Kind of like
yes.
creative.
Feminine without the boho.
Yeah, because it's like I feel it, right?
Yeah.
And I also have on a sock and a heel, but I don't feel like I'm being too serious with a pump.
Yeah, and you're not giving childish vibes
No.
either with the sock and the
No,
heel.
you know I was on the usher board at church, right? Before
Oh,
we wore all white.
this morning?
No, I should have been on this morning, but I feel like I don't. That's a thing. That's like like a nurse, you know,
Yeah.
old school. Nine.
Yeah.
I go from 0 to 60.
But so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you, given church, things like that, do
Yeah.
you ever overthink or think at another level when you're wearing like all white? Does
I
that-
do always, because I used to feel like it had to match.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be like this one isn't the exact same. Is this okay? Do I
Yeah.
feel too precious? Do I feel too pure looking?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to look like Handmaid's Tale either.
Yeah.
So I think a lot about it when I wear white, and I'm also cautious because I'm like, am I showing lumpy bumpies? Am I showing my booty and my underwear? And so wearing this and feeling like this is not, you know, you can't see the little. You know when the light shines through, kind of
Mhm.
if yours shine through, it would show because it's supposed to, but this
Yeah.
is okay.
So I think what is key here is when you're wearing all white, really doubling down on the fact that it's nylon, on the
Mhm.
fact that you've got the cutout, on the fact that you've got the range of textures is key, and that is giving a lot of dimensionality because I mean, of course, it's lovely to wear just a white cotton skirt or white jean and a white t-shirt, but that is where you can feel really flat.
If this were flat,
Yeah.
I feel very flat.
Yeah, but hands down, no matter what, I look at you and I'm like, she's interesting. I want to know
Yeah,
more,
I feel interesting.
and that is what you want to convey.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm just going to make that assumption that we all want to convey that. That's a very good thing to say.
I'll pop up for a second.
Okay, I'm going to pop out and let
You're
Sarah
all
and
popping out? Oh,
I'm going to let
God.
Sarah and Grace take over because I'm loving. This is so good. I'm going to let you guys chat amongst yourselves here.
A long time no see, fam. So Grace, let's talk
All
about your
right.
fit today.
We've got the berry jeans. I'm wearing them a little bit slouchy, kind of as far down as they'll go there. We got some pockets in the back here. This is a 27.
Cool. So I just want to,
mhm.
comment on this is a pretty like straight leg jean. If you want to turn around once more, Grace, the back buckle detail. The back buckle detail here, okay, you can turn around now, is really going to be effective at cinching the waist to where you feel most comfortable without sacrificing the shape of the denim. So you guys are really familiar with the snaps that we have underneath most of our jeans, and we wanted to, which these
There they are.
obviously
At the
have,
bottom.
but we wanted to really tackle the waist scenario, and we show you guys the intended fit, which is low on the hips, how Grace is wearing them. But for those of you that want to wear it a little bit higher or a little lower, we wanted to really make that as easy for you as possible. That back detail is something that you will see across some of our trousers for the season. It is also on the bio twill pants, which I'll wear a little bit later and show you. But ultimately, I think this is one of our most wearable jeans to date. I think that it really works for a wide range of sizes and that it's really approachable. I think, you know, the tuck and Sid are both definitely more voluminous, more sculptural, and I think the Berry jean is really a good foundation that you can wear literally everywhere.
Totally. And then we have this, what's the exact name of this?
This
the
is
asymmetrical.
It is an asymmetrical polo shrunken top. It is shrunken, so those of you that have had our shrunken V-necks previously that are moving to fundamentals, you'll be familiar with the fit. What we love here is that this is really a play on something that might be traditionally more preppy, and making it really our own, putting that Tibby spin on it. And then, you know, Grace has the icky glossiness of the Larry boot. Oh no, not boot. What shoe is this?
Yep.
George. Larry, Mo, Curly. George booty. And what I think is really great is this kind of tonal idea here. And the boot definitely like solidifies the whole look for me.
Totally.
I definitely would feel different if you were wearing a sneaker. I don't think that you would like look as put together,
Totally.
as polished.
Totally.
And I think this iteration of this outfit, you're going a lot of different places.
Yes, and this shirt, just to the IMA size, this is a small. I'm around 5'6", just for reference here. I wouldn't say it's cropped, but it
No, it definitely
is easy
it's-
to tuck in.
Yeah, I mean the idea is shrunken. So this is a shirt I think that we're really seeing paired back to, again, some of the more voluminous bottoms, but here what I love is that it's a very like clean line. You know, we've worn it back to the Derek trouser, which is the pant version of what I'm wearing, to just, you know, offer a good base layer should you want to be layering, etc., with some of our more oversized knits.
Totally. All right, so how would I, come fall, wear these same jeans, maybe change up some of the colors here?
Totally. I think, you know, for fall, I definitely see you maybe adding, you want to just put it on
Yeah.
over. Grace is adding our
Well, that's so good.
green,
That ring
Tibby
four?
green. Yeah, ring 4. I don't know what the sweater is called.
Oh,
The
this is
cutout
so
there.
but it's
I love
really
that.
cute, and what we love is this half moon shape that if Grace turns to the back, you're still gonna see that buckle detail.
So good.
Everything is
Yep.
super, super intentional. The same half moon shape you will see on some of the blazers as well. And then, you know, I obviously, speaking not to camera, I love this cassette car coat. If you had the gray version, this is, you know, just our newest iteration. It's that same supple suede. Say that 5 times fast. So this is really how we're gonna take Grace from, you know, late summer to fall and well through the season.
There we go.
And so what I love about this too, Sarah, is
This is
okay,
so
so you've
good.
got the multiple textures going
Yeah.
on. And I love that the gray here is shine, but it's quiet.
Yes,
Because it's
exactly.
blending in. Because you're using the vintage Pradas here
Yes.
for that. But do you mind putting your foot in the
Yeah,
gold?
no, not at all.
Because I love, like, I think that the gold loafer here is another way that if you were
Totally.
wanting to give in some interest. And so this is where, guys, when we talk about like what to buy and thinking of clothing as tools, you can see that, like, whether it's a vintage product, whether it's the gold here, it's all interchangeable.
Totally.
But the idea is that when you've got all this like luxury and quietness, having that friction there
Totally.
just gives it such another dimension.
And that for me is something that's super important. You know, I think that personal style really is, you know, the first thing that someone sees. It's the first way that you communicate with someone visually. And so for me, as someone who is highly creative but still pragmatic, and, you know, my modifier is risk taker, I really apply that not only to my life but to my styling choices. And even here, just, you know, I've layered underneath this camel crew neck in camel. So camel hair, crew neck, the color is camel. I've layered it over our unisex t-shirt in charcoal gray. It's a super weighted t-shirt and really just serves as a great base layer. And then I really just love the texture and the kind of heathered color of this.
Because and again, you said it, but again, it is camel hair, camel color.
Yes.
But it is literally
camel
the camel's hair.
The camel's hair.
Yeah.
And I paired it back to the fluid suiting short, which ends up kind of hitting me mid-calf, but the length is actually super wearable for me personally.
And do you mind showing it here? I had put this on yesterday. I was wearing the gray shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I was saying is, for me, with where those shorts hit me, I used the word cankles, and someone wrote, and they're like, girl, you said you don't care about that.
No.
I'm like, oh, okay, you're right, I don't.
But it's true, offering a little bit. So for me, this is my big, slim skin, and offering that little bit of extra leg, ankle, foot, whatever you want. It just like it just elongates it. I solidified it with our Arthur belt. I just think that, again, these accessories for me really just make a polished outfit. I was saying earlier that like if Grace was just wearing a sneaker, I would feel really differently. But she needed that icky, glossy gray, even though the color is quite subdued, to really ground her look.
So I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking, I trust you.
Yeah.
I think you are like mature, wise soul. I trust you, right?
Right.
And you're not uptight, but I trust you. And I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking, you are really creative, but I can count on you to meet your deadlines. You know, like you still got your shit together. No, and there's a difference, because there's creative and like, I have no fucking idea when I'm going to ever see the project come in. So,
and I think that's really...
And I would say, knowing you, that is exactly what you want to communicate. It's what you are.
Yeah,
so.
100%. I think, you know, that is really at the core of creative pragmatism, is that, like, at the end of the day, yes, I'm really creative, but I also pride myself on being pragmatic, and those kind of characteristics that, you know, I do work into my professional life, my personal life, and obviously in my wardrobe.
Yeah, great. Thanks,
All
guys.
Thanks.
All right, Katara, again, we are color coordinated because we just can't help ourselves.
I know, we're in sync.
Okay, so I'm wearing the Bio Twill skirt here. Not to choose favorites, but I think Bio Twill is one of the new favorites of all of the fabrications. I was wearing the really wide leg pants very early on in the year. I love them. I've had a couple people tell me that they went ahead and sized down on the Bio Twill pant. I find that it fits very spot on in sizing, because it is meant to sit at the waist and it is meant to have volume. And what's great about it is the fabric is quite soft, so the volume isn't like
no, it's not like a structured.
overwhelming.
No,
right. But again, do with that as you may. And then I am wearing the trouser skirt here, and I've got those.
So you have the same hose that you cut earlier that has some type of control at the top, but we're using it as a cummerbund.
And I'm pretty sure we're sold out of the cummerbunds now.
Yeah.
So guys,
DIY.
this is another option. DIY it.
TIY.
What's that mean?
TB it yourself.
Bonus. That's good. So that's what I've done here, because this skirt sits a little bit lower, and this will cover up any junk. Now you can see I'm wearing the size 4 here.
Yeah.
And this is a skirt that is meant to sit low, but you can certainly see how it would have options, because you've got the pleats here, so you can imagine I could easily size down on this. When you size down, you're going to usually be pinching out an inch. Or I can just, belt this little sucker up here.
Yeah.
So you've got the skirt, and it's giving all that ease. And for me, contrasting it with the top here, and what's the name of this group, the top?
The sculpted cotton curved hem.
Okay, so this is the sculpted cotton curved hem top.
It almost feels like armor, like a soft armor.
It really, this has got lots of body and strength to it, lots of design detail, and
the darts, the really thick metal zipper. It's not a precious zipper. It's meant to have some oomph to it. A very high neckline, which is a nice point of view with this fit.
And it was interesting, Tracy and I, when we were in Berlin, we were at a museum, and they were showing an exhibit of furniture through time, and it was furniture from, I think, like the 1500s, 1600s, and don't call me out on this, like I'm getting my dates wrong, but one of the things that they gave in the timeline was that with the advent of modern tools and then modern machinery, that all of the pricing and the value in furniture back then was all made up with how many hours did someone spend making this piece of furniture. So all of a sudden, you're sitting there and the hours have completely reduced, but the value of the actual furniture hasn't been reduced.
Right.
Or the only thing that was reduced was that it went from, 100 hours to like 3 hours to do something. And so, when we're constantly thinking about the value of things, of course, this top does not take 7 days to make, but what does take almost a lifetime to make is conceptualizing the idea of it, how we'll wear it in a way that is like still chill and modern and classic at the same time, how much usage we'll get out of it. And so when we talk about like that point of value, to me, really like having a point of view on your style and leaning into all that pragmatism and getting use out of stuff, that's where the value is.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when it's hard to find value in things, right?
It is very hard. And what I love is when I see this, I see a beautifully made pattern.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to make a simple thing. It's hard to make something look simple and fit well. So seeing the darts in the front, it's like, this patterning is extraordinary.
And it really is. Simple is the hardest to do. It's kind of like why you could look at like Roger Federer playing tennis or Djokovic, and you're like, I can do that.
Right. He makes it. Well, that was clearly I don't play because I was like, who hits it like this? Wait, let me get my thing.
That's
Okay.
paddleball.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I want to show you real quick.
Yep.
Clearly, this is with the brown leather sandal. I'm giving pragmatic and a little more classic here in the vibes.
And wear now, right?
And wear now.
Yep.
But I'm just going to show you, like, if I put on the little rubbery shoe here, this is that Jeffrey Campbell one, then it is, just giving, it's like, oh.
But it's
You didn't see that coming, right? You got the skin coming. And then putting on a little ankle bracelet with it is just giving a little bit of color.
Yeah.
And this is where, when you think about what is in your closet as well, this is fully one message. It's one, you don't have to confuse it with an outfit. You're like, what message am I sending today? And this is the message that I'm sending. But then when you want to send a different message, then this is a message that you're sending. It's still technically the same outfit, but the thing is you feel different in it.
Yeah.
Because you've created a different vocabulary for that day.
Building on our conversation from Friday, when I see this, you live in Greenwich.
Right.
You say it, right? You have blonde hair. You're also from the South. Khakis and white items can read very, very simple, mature, basic, all of those things.
Yes.
So just the interesting details here kind of takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
And then I also know with the irony, I mean, now that I know you personally, but if I saw you, I'm like, that lady is interesting.
Yeah, she's not falling
She's
into
not
that.
falling into whatever her
Yes.
peers or her environment is dictating.
Yeah, and that is exactly like when you feel like you've dressed in your tropes and then you just become the trope.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, for some people they're like, score, I nailed it. This is what I wanted.
Right.
But if you are not the person who wants that, and that is very typical of a creative pragmatist, and it's not typical of everyone by any stretch. So CPs, we are a small, tight bunch, but you are the type that, like, if you totally fit in and blend in, well, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
Completely.
So yes, I want the friction here, and this is what gives good friction.
So let's talk about some friction. So I'm wearing the tall boot in brown, and I know you've seen this before on the site and otherwise, but
I'm gonna let Sarah chat with you here.
something
and
about
then-
this distressing makes this more than an average boot, right? And I'm also wearing the slip skirt, which we've seen us wear time and time again. I wore the brown one last week. This one is slightly different. It has a point of view that's slightly, I think it's like, this is 27 inches, and I'm wearing the extra large, and the other's like 32. So just shortening that just a little bit kind of gives it a different feeling.
Totally.
And wearing it back to Newman Blue is so good.
So
This ring
good.
4, I mean, I've layered it and I've kind of created this like color blocking on my body that's giving depth.
Totally. And I think what also is giving depth is, yes, obviously the texture, but, I think definitely layering the washable cashmere over the Newman Blue shirt gives the idea of, prep, a little bit more heritage, more traditional.
Right.
But then you're really counteracting that with the Bats boot in this brown brush
Yeah.
vintage vibe. You're still getting, again, playing into that heritage with the brush, but because it's a heeled boot with a pointed toe, you know, it's a little bit like you're powerful.
I mean, also, if I wear this with a skinny jean, let's just call it what it is, right? I love my girl Mary J. Blige, and the Mary boot,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
She takes it there, which I like, but I feel like sometimes different times and places call for like a different friction. So
Absolutely.
I can still have a little bit of Mary here,
Totally.
a little bit of, you know, country club here, and still
Totally.
feel like myself.
Yeah, and I think it's that balance that you're just like, that's what makes me want to do a double take. I'm like, damn, that looks good.
So wait, talk about double take. You came in, you sat down, and I literally couldn't take, I mean, not in like blushy way, but I couldn't take my eyes off of you. So mark that in time, because I looked over and I was like, shit, I rarely see you wear all black, which is,
I know.
but wearing all black in a very interesting shape and silhouette, and I know
Yeah.
that you, I mean, you feel good all the time, you're confident, but
yeah.
what's going on?
You know, it's really funny because obviously I've been working with this collection for such a long time, but when the pieces finally hit stores and online and we get them in, you know, the proper sizing,
Yeah.
it really
It hits different.
It hits different.
It's different.
And this Bio Twill triple pleat pant is something that I really felt like I needed to try in my size. This is a 0. I would have typically gone with a double 0, and
I can't even tell.
I probably still would, but because the cinch in the back,
You have options.
there are options.
It's so
So
tailored. It lays, the pleats are laying perfectly.
thank you. Thanks, Tracy. But
yeah.
what I really wanted to see, a lot of people who are shorter in stature, like myself, ask about the difference between the culotte and the pant
Yes.
for this. And I have to say, so the culotte is going to ultimately have a different shape at the bottom because it's cut differently.
Right.
So no one asked, but except for me. But so I just wanted to note
I
that
asked in my mind. I
that so this is obviously like you can't even see in the screen, but that's the pant all the way down. I'm 5 feet, and then I'll show you at 2 different lengths. So my right leg is snapped all the way to the second closure.
Yep.
So these pants you can wear at 3 different lengths. Unsnapped, the first snap, which is this leg, and the second snap, which is that leg.
It's like a 10-inch cuff versus like a 4 or 5-inch cuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
So the versatility of this pant is what makes me go for it versus the culotte. It's just for a different idea.
Yeah.
And I know here that I can adjust for whatever I want to tuck in. I can
Yeah.
adjust for whatever shoe I want. I can adjust when I'm on the subway, when it's raining. Like,
Yeah.
this pant is really, for me, a 12 mower all-weather pant.
It's water repellent, actually,
Water-
too.
I'm wearing it now, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely, this for me is a must-have. This is a style we really, really believe in. And for me, this, you know, as Couture mentioned, I rarely do wear all black.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is that the focus becomes the silhouette, and
It
the
really
focus
is.
becomes like the proportion. So,
So let's talk big,
Yeah.
slim skin, right?
Totally.
Because you're showing skin in your arms. You still
Yep.
get some like really interesting details on your shoulder.
Yep.
The pant, of course, is our big, and our
Totally.
top are slim, and you also get it in your shoe.
totally. And
Yeah.
I think for me, it's all what I call like tiny top, big trouser season.
Tiny top, big trouser season.
But, you know, this polo is the Luxe PK Shrunken Polo. I'm wearing
Yeah.
an extra small. So I'll untuck it for a second just so you guys can see.
So if this is interesting because I would have assumed that because you're usually like a 24 that you would take an extra small.
I would have, that was not available.
But-
But I like this size.
But it's shrunken,
Yeah,
so you still
it's
have
shrunken.
room.
So I do, exactly. It's
Right.
shrunken, so I don't need it to be like even more shrunken if
Right.
like there's no problem. Like
Right.
I'm perfectly happy with this size. I like it buttoned all the way at the top.
I do too.
Just because I think it really emphasizes this long lean line. And then again for me, I'm wearing the Larry, which is the ankle mule.
Can you take that off and just show it to?
The
Show it
shoe?
to. Yeah. Do you mind? Because I feel like this is a good one.
I can't take this
Okay.
one off in particular.
Okay, that's fine. We'll show them later. But that one, I can never remember it, and it feels like it has like a little,
It's like a glove.
ponytail. Yeah, it fits
It
like
is
a glove.
It fits like a glove. That is the only way that I can say it. It
Yeah.
fits like a glove. But what I really love is that it adds this like long kind of witchy point that actually is like squared off at the front. I think it just adds a little bit of length, the gloss and breakiness.
I'm gonna come join you guys.
Is the same idea that Amy has mentioned earlier. And yeah, so for me, this is such an easy way to do big, slim skin. Kind of a no-brainer. And again, this is something that I would wear to work. I would wear out with my boyfriend. I would wear, like, honestly, to anything, no matter the dress code. I feel like I could get away with it.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. Now all three of us are here, and Sarah and I are really true bookends on height and in size, right? You're wearing the lower end of the spectrum, I'm wearing the larger end, and I still take these sizes. I still take these styles and make them my own.
Totally.
Carolina had this on, and she had it was literally kissing the ground, but she's 6 foot? She's 5'10". So this is a shoe for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Grace. I want you to talk to Sarah about what you have on. This is good.
All right.
How
here
tall
we
are
go.
you?
I say 5'6", but I'm like 5'5" and a half.
I think we're all adding a little
So
change.
we'll go with 5'6".
Okay, all right, cool.
I do have a heel on here, so.
You do.
All right.
So, Grace is wearing our indigo denim wrap skirt. It probably looks familiar. Those of you that have been with us for a little while, you know, and you have seen this style. We launched it for fall 22 in a tropical wool, and then we did it last season on the runway in that grant suiting, that gray. So again, those were very much leaning towards, I would say, like more work appropriate attire. We could definitely dial them down, but the denim skirt is something that we're super excited about because it offers that polish and that luxury that we were getting with the other suiting fabrications, but it's in a denim. So the denim automatically kind of makes it a little bit more utilitarian, a little bit more wearable. And so for me, this is a skirt that Grace can wear
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Currently unzippered. Oh.
And then this
And then
is just,
And then honestly, you know, the Lucas bag, which we just recut, we're super excited about it. In the super dark navy, we're really leaning into dark navy even further. Those of you who are just joining us, navy is one of our core fundamental colors. You know, for me personally, it is my version of Ring 1 Black. Because I really just feel like it grounds my personal style. But this bag is also like the sisterhood of the traveling bag. I really do feel like everyone in this office can wear it for any occasion. It also fits a laptop, right? iPad, laptop.
everything. Will you show with the laptop?
Yep.
Sure.
Put that inside.
So if that's my iPad. Oh wow.
And I
Look at
love
that.
these pockets here too for keys,
Yeah,
chapstick,
you know,
phone.
again, we're all about creative pragmatism, go figure. And for us, this bag, it also has a cinch. So, you know, for me, my biggest fear is that like I'm gonna dump my whole bag out on the subway, which has happened. So for me, this closure makes it really, really practical. I kind of love that it alludes to like a sports drawstring bag that I definitely used when I was younger, going to all of my different sports games. But again, this is something that just adds that icky, glossy texture visual to really any look. So if you're feeling like you're very one note and you need something to not only lift your outfit, but lift your spirits, the Lucas bag for me is that.
So can you explain for me too, navy? Before I came to Tibby, I always thought navy is such a winter color, but all year round. I mean, can you talk a little bit about?
But you live in
About
Greenwich
that.
too, and
Yeah.
you probably really associated it with classics. One of the first hurdles is for people to get over navy and black. And that's why, like, literally, the navy is with the black here, because we
Yeah.
love it. It's
Yeah.
because you look at, my dad is an artist, and it was funny growing up. I'm like, I love the color black, and he's like, black is not a color, honey. It was like his big, and I would go to school, and I'm like, black is not a real color, you know? It's like a
you were
deepest
just
part
causing
on,
so many issues.
you know.
Amy.
And,
New Orleans.
Yeah, but it's like the deepest shade of navy. It can be like the deepest shade in the purple color range. Like, so navy really blends so beautiful with black because it just creates like another shade and dimension.
Exactly. It just adds a little bit of depth.
Yeah.
So like if I was wearing, a black leather bag, that would be fine. But this adds a whole new dimension that I don't think that you're getting otherwise. So, if you're going somewhere and you really want to look put together, you really want to be pragmatic, it is these kind of details that's going to say, oh, she's creative. Oh, she really has something more there.
It's so true because the reason why like a black Napa leather would have been fine here is because of the texture
Totally.
and your shapes. But had this been just plain black,
No way.
like a black
How
cotton
sad.
shirt, sad,
Sad.
sadness.
Sad.com.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Not our side.
No, I need that.
Okay, so we're doing. Sorry, you need your computer. Okay, so I have got on the jersey laminated skirt, and for us, I mean, Katara, I remember when Tracy and I got back from doing the fabric shows, and we were like, this fabric is the be all end all. Sometimes fabric can really lead the way for directionally where a collection's gonna go. And the fact that this was actually a heather jersey, and so up close you can see it's a melange jersey here, and you can see it kind of peeking out under the gloss here. But what it means is this is jersey, so it's got a lot of give to it. And I keep saying that it's a jersey because what it isn't is it's not stretchy rubber, even though it looks like that.
So when you say jersey, for the person that's like, I'm a baby, what is jersey, right?
So
When you
it's
think
like
of a t-shirt, when you think of a stretchy legging.
It's your t-shirt, so
Right.
it's a very heavy gray heathered t-shirt
Yep.
that has been laminated with this glossy texture. And so what it is doing is, it to me speaks volumes about what you're wanting to communicate, because it is the epitome of modernity that is really grounded in something familiar and classic at the same time. So it's a really, really great skirt. It's got the clean waistband on it. I'm gonna show it without the sweater first.
This is like literally creative pragmatist, top and bottom, like full.
And I love this because it is a skirt that, I mean, with this blue and white striped shirt, like, yes, I mean business, but I don't look like I'm gonna rip your throat out, you know? Like, I'm not gonna,
You never
which
do.
might be good, because when we have the contract negotiations, I might be like
What? Tell me
surprise
again.
you. Like, surprise you, you know? Like, maybe.
It's very smart, but also it has a
Little
it's sexy, but it's not like, you wore that to work, you are a sex kitten.
Exactly.
I got really country when I said that. You are a sex kitten. Speaking of sex kitten, I just showed everybody my boobs. Hi.
Why are they groups with an R?
My boobs? Because I was like trying to hide the word. It's censored.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to like try on the shirt to see how I would feel in the fall. I thought about it and I was like, how will I wear this in the fall?
Oh, the skirt? You're wearing it every day in the fall.
I know, but I want them to know because, first off, it's so soft. It has a zipper. It has a tailored waistband, but I pulled it on, and I probably shouldn't have, but like, it's that easy. You know, it's a very easy skirt, and I feel immediately that I have something interesting on the bottom. It's giving this beautiful lanternny Giorgio key flower, but not. The sculpting is architectural. And I don't have a maxi in this way because it's slimming, but it's not. If this were a pencil maxi, I feel like, I don't know. It just
You feel
feels
different.
I feel different.
Right?
I feel
It's not
different.
bad and it's not good.
Yeah.
You just feel different. And really, like, this has got those gourdets that we've talked about, but then Tracy has grabbed them
Yeah.
and she has pin tucked them. No crotch shots. We're not basic instinct here.
I know. I do love that movie, but not here. Yeah.
But so what I particularly love this skirt with is, and it's funny, skirt was like on the hot seat with Sarah and Tracy, because I was like, Sarah, why aren't you styling with this? Why? And then when I put it on and I showed it to them, like with the cocoon sweatshirt, for instance, with this longer sweater,
Yeah.
to me it reeks of modernity, and I think it's one that I'm gonna
It's a
go
pant
a few
alternative,
extra
too.
miles to show like different ways to style it,
Mhm.
because because I love it with the straight up black matching top.
I do
It creates a different look, but this is super, super modern
There's pockets
here.
on the seams.
Right.
It's really chill.
And so I think that, you know, one of the challenges as a creative pragmatist, right, is that things that are out there in the world of fashion tend to be very one-dimensional, right? Like, it is no surprise that it's very appealing when people talk in absolute terms.
I don't like black and white.
You know,
You have to live in the gray.
right, you gotta live in the gray, and when someone is such an absolutist, it rubs wrong, and it also rubs wrong because it's very rare that anyone is carrying that out through their life. So the minute that they don't do it, you're like, aha, I knew you would drink out of a styrofoam cup one day. Or, you know, like, so it's more about like acknowledging, like, we live in the gray. We're
Yeah.
pragmatic,
Yeah.
we live in the gray. And so I think really showing that you have that depth of thought, but that you live in the gray and being, you know,
It
like,
speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Your clothing won't talk smack about you.
yes, and so I want to double down on the idea that when we talk about the CP principles, that is exactly what they are. They are principles, and they are not rules, and certainly not rules of law, because they are the things that you are going to go to when you feel off to gauge whether or not you want to employ it to help fix the situation, and sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't, because they are principles and they are not laws. Okay, so we love black and brown together. We talked about loving black and navy together, and we love black and brown together. So I want to show here, when we talked about the things that feel really interesting and giving dimension, one of the other things is the
Distressing.
the
Right there.
distressing.
Yeah.
So what Italy does with this leather is the leather is completely tanned, dyed, and then it is just rubbed and rubbed to where it comes off a little bit. So
I like that it has this patina that looks really lived in, but it still looks refined and not really worn down like your oldest pair of boots that are in your closet.
yeah,
And it kind of answers all the questions. So you can wear it with a black skirt. It picks up the darker notes, and it also picks up the lighter notes in all the browns and all the colors in the collection.
exactly.
Cool.
And then I'm wearing it here with the Shetland sweater, and this is one of our sweaters from way back.
Yeah.
We
I
did
craved this one for
a
a
while
long time.
back. Yeah, and this was back in the day when we did something and we were like, shit, we sell these department stores. They're like, no, please just give us that tight skirt and call it a day.
Right.
But we always loved the sweater. We knew that it was great, and we brought it back for that reason. Do you mind handing me the belt? So I want to show you, there's some interesting things you can do with the sweater here. So it has a completely open back. And so what it allows you to do is, you can just bring the sweater, like bring the belt through here, and then you can just belt it on one side,
So much more interesting.
and then just like this, right? So this is like, this is to me the ultimate of creative and pragmatic,
It's
right?
super, like literally creative in the back, pragmatic in the front.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
and so this is the kind of stuff where, especially for our executive women out there, when you are walking into a meeting and you want to convey creativity, because it is the number one asset that people look for on a resume, and they look for it when you interview with them, they are looking for creativity, because creative people help problem solve. And you know, nothing in life is static. So what you are seeking are people who can constantly assess a current situation and be nimble and be moving with it. That is creativity, right? It doesn't just mean like you're just
No.
like Ray coming
No.
in and putting up a backdrop in 2 seconds. Different type of creativity.
Daily application. Yeah.
And so these are ways of showing it, you know, it's a way of doing it, but doing it with measure and thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
One of my friends used to work on the Hill as a strategist, and she now is a consultant that teaches people how to employ creativity in the workplace.
Yeah.
But it's not for people like us. It's for people that are like, I'm not creative. There's creativity in everything.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that Julie Cameron's The Artist's Way, one of my
Yes,
favorite
so
books for that.
You did that?
My dad gave me that book.
I'm doing
when I
them.
was
I do morning pages every day.
Oh,
Oh, look at
no,
this.
my my dad gave me that book when I was in.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, it's such a game changer.
I love that.
I know.
Thanks, Dad.
I know.
I-
That's the best.
Looked at myself and I'm fully covered, and I thought about a DM that I get. We get DMs from all types of people, right? We have.
But do you feel overly fully covered? Because I'm looking at the green. You got.
No, I'm not.
it's the
And
one.
I think what it is, though, I do see my foot open and it doesn't make sense. So I know for me, I'm going to immediately, if I'm going to wear this in the fall, I'm likely going to be wearing this with a Rudolph, right? Because I still want to get that same slimness that I had from the skin of the Dwayne, but in that shoe. But what I was going to say is, a woman asked me, oh, could you tell me how to style for more conservative and modest cultures and religions? And I wanted to defer to her because she was a different background that I was. And I said, well, if you tell me, how do you style yourself? She was also wearing a hijab. And I think that this is a really smart way. Grace and I have a few clients that come to the store that you're still covered, you're still modest, and you don't look like grandma. It's something about it that's really wonderful. So, wearing this lightweight suede, this is a car coat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh my God, this feels like butter and paper had a baby. Which is, no, it's like rock, scissors, paper. I will not crumple this up, but I want to show you just how thin and lightweight this is. So if you look at this, if you are a lover of fabrics like I am, these are two pieces together. So lightweight that I will likely share mine with my spouse in the kind of like the later parts of September and the earlier parts of October, and still layer it with something like this sweater, because I don't need a big bulky coat. And I find that when I first moved to New York, I really needed that like ankle length. I'm sure you guys had it, that ankle length bubble coat that everybody was wearing. It's not practical for me, even when I get in the car in a suburban, slightly city adjacent place, to have this big bubble coat. So when I style myself in the car coat, I'm layering pieces up. So sweater, suede, ready to go. So what I wanted to show you guys actually is, do you have that other sweater? I want to compare the two. So Grace had on the gray sweater with the cutout in the front. It's like a half moon. And these are two different lengths for two different reasons. I love that when I move my leg, you see this is designed to be just where your leg kind of is cut out. Thank you. And then on the side, of course, this is perfect. It's right at the hip, but you can see I can still reach my pocket. So it's interesting. It's not bare if you're like, oh my God, why do I wear that when I can't have my love handles out? They're not. They're covered. And maybe you don't have any, and maybe you do and you love them. Love your love handles. So this is...
Love your love handles. Love your ankles. I've learned.
Love it.
Love it.
Yes, I agree. So I just want to show you the difference, but these have a purpose, right? So I'm going to wear this one with something a little higher waisted, and I'll wear this one, you know, like with the skirts that are a little bit flatter here. Cool.
Cool.
You're smart.
I
Smart
know.
cash.
Well, and okay, I mean, again,
It's giving Greenwich with a
it's giving Greenwich with a twist. So let me
Yeah.
show you the twist,
Okay.
because
twist us. I'm going to step off for
well,
one.
it's a little bit similar to, you can step out. I'll
Okay.
chat with Matt here.
Okay.
Matt, come chat with me.
And this cute sweater.
Matt's wearing his sweater again.
Oh,
Matt has one sweater.
It's great.
It's a good one. I think, Matt, I'm going to talk to you because like it helps me to talk to someone.
Okay.
All right, cool. But I think that when you live in a certain area that can be very hyper-troped out, you live off the main line, right?
Yep.
So you understand these tropes, right? And I grew up in the South, and so I was at an event recently, well, a few months ago at Copeland's in Columbia, South Carolina, and everyone was wearing not everyone, but like a lot of women down there are wearing full-on floral head-to-toe printed dresses. That's great, right? And it's a trope. If I said that we are in the South at an event and a bunch of women, immediately you're like, oh, I see floral dresses, of course, right? And it's true, you do. The thing is what if you're not a super floral dress person? And it doesn't mean that you're coming in all, dressed in black with a big fuck you, because anyone, like, you're living in that world and you want to be part of it, but you certainly don't want to completely go over to the other side, and you want to still fit in with the way that you're dressed. And plus there's a reason why there's certain things in certain environments. Like, there's a reason why there's a lot of florals in the South. It's green, it's lush, it's pretty, like it makes sense for the environment. So if you are in a more conservative environment, something like this obviously feels very straight up and one with the environment, but this is where I want to constantly be nudging it and giving it a different vibe. So for me, wearing the pants sitting much lower, having the longer rise is going to do that. Again, I've been leaning on things like this little ankle bracelet, which actually this was the brand, is it EILEOU?
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't pronounce it.
Necklace. I broke it and then I just restrung it into an ankle bracelet because I lost half the beads.
Yeah.
But I noticed that like as I've been craving some more classic colors, it makes sense then that I'm craving something like an ankle bracelet. That is called friction. My friction may not be your friction. It just depends on, you know, what you need to kind of give your outfit a twist to it. And then certainly this is where this kind of gummy textured bag comes into play every time. I mean, God help me if it was like a Louis, what's the carry-all? Like, and see, immediately, like when you talk about what you're sending, that carry-all.
I would think you're not as approachable. I'd be like, she's pretentious and she's a snob. No.
Well,
no.
you're joking, but not.
Yeah.
And
well, it depends, right? Because that's not the only factor. But I would think that, and I would have to like take.
And you
other
would correct
things.
yourself. You
Right,
would say,
I would course
and you would be
correct.
like, Katura, that's rude. Don't think that. But
That is how I sound.
if you do not acknowledge that that shit exists,
Yeah.
then it's hard to really kind of take agency and control the outcome that you want. So I don't want that people to think that, and I really don't want them to think it because I'm not that, right?
Yeah.
So what this gummy bag is what does it. So you don't employ this stuff so that you can send a false message. You are employing these things so that you can affirm to yourself who you are, and so that for anyone else walking by, they're like, I see you. I know who you are.
Yeah.
And this is who I am. And this gummy bag is one of the reasons why, someone wrote to me this gigantic long letter the other day. Sorry, it's got little pockets on the inside as well. But they wrote this big long letter and they're like, I did not think this was going to be the bag that I
Reach
use
for every day.
every day. Because, right? Because normally you're like, oh, it's navy blue and
my
it's
laptop?
gummy. Like, why would this be an everyday bag?
So I've been carrying mine for a year.
Yeah.
I carry this bad boy in it. Also for moms, we need all these pockets. You don't need the diaper bag. I know they said you should register for it. I know that you want it, but
That
like
is some bullshit.
But it's marketing, and I'm saying it
Yeah.
as a woman on the other side of that. Throw the diapers in here, throw the bottle in here. You'll look.
It is.
You don't need all that.
You don't
It's easy.
need all that because
Yeah.
look, if you have,
Amy, you don't need all that. You can put
if you had
70%.
kids,
Yeah.
then you can have my boyfriend down there.
Yeah, I was like, which
You know
one?
who he is.
Oh my god.
Okay, so if you've got kids,
This is truly Amy's boyfriend.
this is my stress indicator, and you all know it. But like literally everything. This doesn't. I'm sorry, Steve.
Oh god.
No. Steve's gonna stay left behind, but everything else fits in here. Even this woman on the train the other day, I was like, look at her baby, so quiet. It was a fake baby.
My stomach hurts.
It was a fake baby. I was like, what the fuck? She had a little blanket in her. Anyway.
Alright, so I don't know what
It was true.
Oh god. I love the trains. I love New York.
I know.
Oh god,
I know.
Alright, I just want to tell them what I'm wearing because they're gonna want to know.
We gotta go.
Alright, so I just thought I
Yeah.
would give the opposite of and flip Amy's Greenwich onto its head, right? I love sneakers better than the next person. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I feel like
Yeah.
that was the word we needed to hear. But
Yeah.
I'm wearing something that's typically very, very sporty.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm wearing like Run DMC track pant, which I do wear Adidas track pants, but I don't feel like I'm wearing it head to toe. And I'm
No.
wearing super sporty things, preppy head to toe.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Oh, wait, hold on. One thing.
What else are you gonna put in your bag?
Wait, I have one thing before we go, and then
Oh God.
and then I'm gonna show one thing. Stay with me, people.
All right. So stay with me, and I'll talk to you about. I'm wearing size extra large in the Winslows with the stripe, and I know you got the Scotties with the white stripe, but this brown is just the good brown, and it kind of like elevates it a little bit, and with the PK polo, and I'm actually wearing a large in the polo.
Okay, I'm gonna remind one hack if you haven't seen this yet, guys. This is a Charlie shirt. I'm wearing a size small, and it's out. But if you want to have options here to show it just a little more fitted, I'm just pulling it back here, and we're going to knot it just like this, and then it's going to give you this little slimmer vibe.
And if you have hips too, I feel like people are like, oh, I can't wear this. Yes, you can. You need a slim top. Just do this.
Yeah. And this is also like, it's a good idea too, because sometimes when you're online and you see someone like, oh, and it's like dresses over pants, and the dress is like all draped up, and I'm like, really? Because no one's walking around like this all day. Like eventually you put your hands down, and then so this is a way that you can actually keep this kind of styled look, but do it for real rather than just having to have your hands in your pocket and holding it just so. I want to leave with this for you.
It's a gift? What? Is this a bug? Is this a gift?
No.
Oh my God.
Here you go.
Oh my God. So Amy and I just had a baby. And what you witnessed was immaculate conception.
Literally the baby though it was much big. No, the baby was like a massive. No,
Is that the baby that's in the king cake from Louisiana?
Probably.
Oh my God.
Is it bad luck?
No,
I think it's
no,
good
it's good
luck.
luck. You just gave me
It's
good
good
luck.
luck. Okay.
Thank God.
All right, good baby.
She blessed it. Guys,
I blessed it.
do you have any housekeeping?
Oh my God, yes, we've got some really good things coming up. So, Close Friends was just launched, and the first artist is BB Stockwell. We have some amazing artists in the pipeline, but it really is, we are a small company. We've been around for 27 years now. And so I would say we're a very successful small company. I love it. No outside investment or anything ever. And what that means is we want to make sure that we show love to other small companies, small specialty stores, and small creatives and brands out there. So Close Friends just launched. We have the next in our salon series coming up. That is going to be a private invite. Make sure that you RSVP. 2 really interesting names are coming, and we are going to have an unbelievable conversation, and that is on August 15th. And then we've got Runway on September 7th, and I don't know. Yeah. That's it. I got all amped up like there was a lot, and then I'm like, no, that's it.
There's probably more. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys, take care.